I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to come into the room. Thanks so much. Please hit the like button on the way in, and thanks for joining me this evening. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. You know me, I don't really like to stay on very long, but and I apologize first and foremost. This was supposed to have taken place last night, but I was a bit under the weather. I'm doing a little bit better tonight. So just please bear with me and thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. And again, make sure as you come in to hit the like button. Um, just please, this I might be a little long-winded, but I'm going to get to where I'm going to need to get. So please just bear with me while I talk about this topic. And again, tonight's topic is Kanye, Kyrie, and the media. Now, I have picked up a lot of new subscribers, and I thank you so much for that. And if you get a chance, you can look at some of my older comment, and you'll understand why I spell media the way I do. Media is an acronym. At least I use it as an acronym. And when I refer to the media, I'm talking about the mainstream media. I'm talking about um, media outlets such as Fox News, CBS, or Viacom, um, NBC, CSNBC, things of that nature. And if you notice it, once again, I termed it as media. Just a moment. I have to type it in a certain way. Oh goodness. Just one moment. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Binge Thinker, how you doing this evening? And thanks for joining me. I really appreciate that. Now, my term for the media, and once again, I'm speaking of the mainstream media. And if you want to include outlets such as this, feel free, because these outlets are not run by us. And as you can see, there are certain people who are made the boogeyman. And yes, they are, in my opinion, the most evil devil in America. Now, as you can see, by the way, that Kyrie is being treated, and not just Kyrie, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, aka Ye. And I understand, listen, these guys, hey, Miss Philadelphia, how's everything? You said you like that term? You're gonna be, hey, feel free to do so. I do not mind. I mean, the more the merrier. But listen, sometimes we have to listen to the message and not always the messenger. And I understand we're not going to always agree with people all the time. I mean, there are certain times I certainly do not agree with Kanye West. I don't agree with Kyrie Irving. Well, let's face it, we're not going to agree with everyone 100% of the time. And yes, absolutely, Ben Stinker, they always build us up to break us down. I mean, they have done that to so many of us. They have buck broken the black man to the point where he almost has to be apologetic to be masculine in today's day and age. But I digress. And we've seen that happen way before Kyrie, but that's yet another story. I won't get into that. I want to stay on topic as much as I can. Now, everybody knows what's been going on as far as Kyrie and him coming to the conclusion, learning more about himself. And what happened is the Jewish community or the Judaism community are upset at him. And they have they've suspended him minimum of 5 games. Now, what's going on is, from what I hear, is Kyrie is contemplating retiring. I don't know if that is the case or not. But listen, we know that. And that's why the media is put in place the way it is. But I'm going to give a very quick lesson. Well, it's not really a lesson. It's actually in the Bible. It's just a matter of picking it up, so to speak. And I know a lot of us don't like to do that. Now, I'm going to use the Webster definition of Jewish. And Jewish is an adjective related to, associated with, or denoting Jewish people or Judaism. And there is a difference. Judaism is a religion and has nothing to do, it has something to do with the Jewish people, but we also have to remember the term Jew doesn't refer to all of Israel. The term Jew actually refers to the tribe of Judah. And if you remember, there are 12 tribes in Israel, at least the original Israel. See, I'm not talking about the Israel that we know of as of now, because that's a totally different state altogether. The Jewish state that we know of today has only been a country since 1948. That is not the original 12 tribes of Israel. In fact, Deuteronomy chapter 27, verses 12 and 13 lists all 12 tribes of Israel. Those are Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Benjamin, and Joseph. And Joseph was later split into 2 tribes. And those 2 tribes are Ephraim and Manasseh. Now, later Jacob, whose name was changed by the Most High to Israel, he later elevated those descendants to the status of full tribes in their own right, because Joseph received a double portion after Reuben lost his birthright because of his transgression with Bilhah. And again, make sure to read your Bible, and that'll go into it further. Those are the actual Jewish people. The Jews come from the tribe of Judah. But again, That's not what we're told. We're told something totally different. Because again, the Jewish state that we know of today is totally different from what was going on in biblical times. In fact, I just want to make sure Israel modern state. In fact, because I don't want any BS that, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, he just pulled this out of his behind, whatever. Because that's not the case. We are talking about right now. Yeah, and again, they were formed in 1948. That is the current state of Israel from 1948 on. That's the Jewish people that are being referred to when you hear the people like, for example, a Liar Cohen, David Ben-Gurion, who was the first Israeli prime minister. You know, those are the modern day Jewish people. Because remember, the original 12 tribes, the original Israelites, have our complexion. We know that because of the simple fact that Moses, who was one of the direct descendants of Abraham, was able to stand in the place of Pharaoh for 40 years. And again, when you read Exodus, when you read your Bible, you will learn that. But a lot of people don't want to do that. But Kyrie Irving started studying, and he did find out a lot of things that are in the Bible that if you did not pick up the Bible and read it for yourself, you would not know that. Now, Kyrie has what I'd like to call a fatal flaw. Sometimes he likes to hear himself talk. And sometimes Kyrie thinks that he's the smartest guy in the room. But that does not change the fact that in this case, he's 100% right. And he should not have been made to apologize for his beliefs. It's amazing how we are the only people on the planet who are made to apologize for believing in something. But unfortunately, there are so many people that are so willing to do the media's bidding. And that's where we come to the guys like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. Now, Shaquille O'Neal obviously was a great basketball player, and obviously so was Charles Barkley. But we know that Charles Barkley has been, I like to say, cooning it up for quite some time. In fact, he's been on TV for about 30 years. It's hard to believe that. I remember when Charles Barkley was playing back in the day, and he was a top 5 player. There was no question about it at his position. In fact, throughout the entire NBA, there was a stretch where Barkley was a top 5 player, especially the late 80s and early 90s. He was a wonderful basketball player. But just because you're a great basketball player and you're a great athlete, that doesn't mean that you and listen, nobody ever speaks for everybody. I understand that. But just because you disagree with a person, and here I'm coming hard on Shaquille O'Neal, first of all, you're a hypocrite for calling the man an idiot when you, at your own movie theater, were playing the exact same movie that Kyrie was promoting. So you're dead wrong for that, Shaq. And listen, Shaquille has been cooning it up for quite some time. He certainly has. I mean, if you remember the Ahmaud Arbery thing, the Breonna Taylor thing, because Shaq deep down thinks he's law enforcement, and he's not. Just because you were made an honorary cop somewhere in Florida doesn't make you a real cop, okay? You're not. And listen, is Shaq, I know for all intents and purposes, a lot of people think that Shaquille O'Neal is a nice person. I don't think he's not a nice person. But again, just because you don't agree with something doesn't make that person an absolute idiot. In fact, it's the reverse, Shaq. It makes you look like a fool because you're not respecting another person's beliefs. That's your problem, Shaq. But unfortunately, you have a partner in crime with Charles Barkley. And we know that Charles has acted a fool for about 40 plus years. I mean, this is the same Charles Barkley who has thrown people through windows, has been in a drunken stupor, has had multiple DWIs, that same Charles Barkley. So anybody who wants to take Charles Barkley seriously definitely has some screws loose. Let's just call a spade a spade. But the crazy part about this whole thing is, everybody is vilifying Kyrie Irving and to a lesser extent Kanye West. And all you need to do is watch Kanye's Drink Champs. But see, the funny thing about both Kyrie and Ye, excuse me, bear with me, please. Again, I'm a little bit under the weather here. The media tries to discount these people as, oh, they are mentally challenged. Oh, Kyrie is this. They'll bring up the flat earth thing. But the one thing they can't say is that Kyrie and Kanye have lied about this certain topic, because they haven't. When Kanye, speaks about Liar Cohen, he's 100% right. And again, when you get the chance, just watch Drink Champs with Kanye speaking to Nori. And he's 200% right. And when he brings up the fact that he can't listen, and he tried to please our community, and there are certain times we can't please everybody in our community. Now, I totally disagree with him when it comes to him wearing White Lives Matter. And listen, we also know that Kanye is a little bit of a shock jock. To him, sometimes any publicity is good publicity. But also, Kanye is crazy like a fox. Because he not only exposes the hypocrisy when it comes to politics, but when it comes to business. When he breaks down his contract with Adidas, which he's been trying to get out of for 5 years anyway, there is absolutely no lies told on his part. When he was talking about his dealings with Nike and dealing with the Kardashian family, see, these were all business moves as far as Kanye was concerned. And whether you agree with him or not, the man was telling 100% of the truth, and he was spitting nothing but 100% of the facts. And we all know that the media loves to make our, like, people that look like me the villain and the bad guy. But the crazy part, there's one person and one entity that has not gotten any blame whatsoever when it comes to the film that's out right now. And the name of the film is called From Negroes to Hebrews. And there's a book out by that very same name. And the one entity and person that has gotten away with everything is Amazon and Jeff Bezos. I wonder why. You know, everybody wants to blame Kyrie. Oh, he's promoted this. It's on Amazon Prime right now. No one has made Jeff Bezos take down that particular movie. But meanwhile, Kyrie, because he refused to be buckbroken, gets suspended. Or he didn't apologize in a manner that they liked. So I guess there is no such thing as true freedom of speech. But meanwhile, we're always told that when it comes to the so-called media, or at least the mainstream media. Once you don't want to fit a certain narrative and you decide not to be sheep, it's a huge problem. And the media shrills have to put you back in line. I mean, it's so funny. Shannon Sharpe went so... See, the thing about Shannon Sharpe, too, which drives me absolutely crazy. When it comes to Colin Kaepernick, he was absolutely right. But see, where Shannon Sharpe loses his credibility when it comes to Kyrie is he is such a disgusting LeBron James D-rider that you can't take him seriously. And then when you add the fact that, let's face it, Shannon Sharpe talks like he's gargling a box of rocks and you can't stand hearing him. I mean, it's just hard to take. Oh, Skip. Oh, you know, Kyrie, he ain't been nothing without LeBron. I can't take him. I mean, there are just certain times where it's like, look, just please. I mean, he is just unlistenable at times. Oh, Skip. Oh, and you know, LeBron, he's the real GOAT. And then you have to balance it out with Skippy Bayless. When he's not talking about the Dallas Cowboys or Michael Jordan, he has no credibility either. It's my turn. I mean, he talks like he wants to whip Shannon Sharpe, like he's got that slave owner mentality, old Skip. And then he tries to be condescending at first. I know as a white guy, I have no idea. Oh, God. And listen, is it entertaining TV? It absolutely is. But you have to take them at face value. You have to put them in a certain place. I mean, these are the people who will rep Fox 100% because they don't see, they're not, see, Shannon Sharp is not willing to put it on the line because he knows those Fox checks. And listen, they're big checks. I get it. But you can't sell your soul for that dollar bill. And a lot of us have done that. A lot of our people. Look at Oprah. How she sold out Michael Jackson. And waited till a good 10 plus years till when he was dead and gone. Pretending to be his friend. What an absolute piece of garbage Oprah is. But that's another story. Again, let me stay focused. Because there are so many media shrills. We already know about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith will sell out his mother for a Disney check. We already know that. And then he wants to play. See, Stephen A. wants to play both sides. Don't let me get started with him because he'll start that as a black man. Yeah, right. Stephen A. will play the black card, the island card, the ESPN card, whatever card, pick a card. Stephen A. Smith's going to play it. And he'll play it to high heaven. That's why he is the face of ESPN. And that's why ESPN is a failing place right now. First Take is nowhere near as good as Undisputed. And it's because, see, when Stephen A. feels threatened, Stephen A. has to move you out of there. Now, Skip Bayless left because that Fox money was just too large. But see, Stephen A. doesn't like women too much. That's why Stephen A. had to push Kyrie Champion out of there. Jemele Hill did herself in because, see, Jemele Hill likes her black men a certain way, but I digress. See, unfortunately, this all goes back to Willie Lynch, but that's another video for another time. But the media is so savvy. It picks its heroes and villains. A lot of times, not according to facts, but according to their agenda that they want to push. Right now, it's Kyrie. It's Ye. Not that long ago, it was Bill Cosby. There was more vitriol hurled towards Kyrie Irving over watching or talking about a movie than Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Woody Allen, and Elvis Presley, who have done much worse things all put together. And I'm going to leave with this. If you're going to use the term anti-Semitic, can you use it the right way, please? First of all, the proper term is anti-Shemitic. Because Shem was one of Noah's sons, And Shem is the patriarch for Israel. And one of the Semitic tribes. The 12 tribes falls under one of the Semitic tribes, Shemitic. It's S-H-E-M. It's not S-E-M. Because remember, also going back to the Bible, ladies and gentlemen, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But I know that's asking a bit much. Do I stand with Kyrie Irving? When it comes to this, 100%. But I don't stand with just Kyrie Irving. I stand with the truth. It's not a matter of standing with this athlete or this person or that person. I'm going to stand on biblical truth, and I'm going to stand against the media, aka the most evil devil in America. And again, that's the mainstream media. Thanks so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, share, and subscribe. Uncle Claude signing out. Take care. Stay safe. And God bless. And again, don't be a sheep. Don't let these media shrills lead you a certain way. But make sure to read up on things to make sure that the truth is undeniably the truth.